It is time for What Does the Bible Say About This? Pastor Mathison, we are on part 2 of the question, what does the Bible say about how sin started?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sister Edith. Last week, we were introduced to an angel that was created by the name of Lucifer. For those of you who did not get a chance to hear part 1, today we are doing part 2. You can look or you can listen to part 1 on YouTube. We are going to part two and it's part 3, and the last will be next week. So here we spoke about Lucifer, that he was created. All the other angels were called out, and he was a special angel adorned with so much beauty and could sing very, very much. So we are going to pick up on a little area that we left off on. It says that, speaking about Lucifer, that he was given a place of honor. He was next to Christ. He had been most honored of God and was highest in power and glory among the angels in heaven. He stood in the presence of the great Creator, and the ceaseless beams of glory ensured it. The eternal God rested upon him. And the question was asked last week, so what happened? What happened? And we're looking again at Ezekiel 28, starting from verse 16, talking about Lucifer, who became Satan. By the abundance of your trading, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore, I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God. And I destroyed you, O covered cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones. Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground. I laid you before kings, that they may gaze upon you. Now, it is said here in this book that if not the first archangel, great in power, in favor, and preeminence, yet fraught with envy against the Son of God. So Lucifer was now becoming envious of the Son of God, of Jesus. Now, let's look at Christ was one with the Father. He, talking about Christ, was one with the Father before the angels were created. Jesus was equal to him, equal to God, because begotten Son, equal to him. He was God's begotten Son, by whom, as by the word, the mighty Father made all things, even thee, who is Lucifer, and all the spirits or the angels in heaven. So the Father assembled the heavenly host. It says the Creator assembled the heavenly host, that he might, in the presence of all the angels, confer special honor upon his Son. The Father made known that it was ordained by himself that Christ, his Son, should be equal to himself, so that wherever was the presence of his Son, it was his own presence. Of angels by imperial summons called, innumerable before the Almighty's throne, hear all angels, hear my decree, which unrevoked shall stand. This day I have begotten, whom I declare my only Son, that's God speaking now, and on this holy hill, him have I anointed, whom you now behold at my right hand. Your head, I him appoint, and by myself I have sworn. But when God said to his Son, let us make man in our image, Lucifer, who became Satan, was jealous of Jesus. He wished to be consulted concerning the formation of man. And because he was not a part of that. He was not. He was filled with envy. He was filled with jealousy and hatred. Because what happened is that he desired to receive the highest honors in heaven next to God. So Lucifer in heaven became jealous of Jesus. And so Satan, ambitious to exalt himself and unwilling to submit to the authority of Jesus, was insinuating against the government of God. Some of the angels sympathized with Satan in his rebellion, and others strongly contended for the honor and wisdom of God in giving authority to his son. So here Lucifer is now creating a contention between himself and Jesus because of jealousy. He was lifted up because of his beauty and because of the gifts that he had. There was contention among the angels. Satan and his sympathizers were striving to reform the government of God. They wished to look into the unsearchable wisdom and ascertain his purpose in exalting Jesus and endowing him with such unlimited power and command. So they rebelled against the authority of the Son. Satan and his sympathizers were now rebelling against the Son of God, against his authority. Hear this, hear this. Satan assembled the angelic host, concealing his real purpose. He assembled the angelic host. He assembled the angels. Assemble thou of all those myriads which we lead the chief, was remarks. Quarters of the north, there to prepare fit entertainment to receive our King, the great Messiah, and his new command. So spake the false archangel. So he's speaking. Now, why did Lucifer envy the Son of God? Why did he envy? Lucifer was envious and jealous of Jesus Christ. Why should Christ thus be honored according to him? Why does Christ thus be honored before himself? In favor and preeminence, yet fraught with envy against the Son of God, that the Messiah King anointed. So it was angry that Christ was anointed. He could not bear to see that. His pride was lifted up. He wanted all that out of his sight. He wanted it out of his thought. He wanted it out of his mind. But he himself was impaired. So he could not accept that. Could not accept that. We're looking at how sin started, part 2. So Lucifer tells the angels that their freedom was at stake. Now we started to lie on God. Hear what he says. He told them, he told the angelic host, he told them that henceforth all the sweet liberty that the angels are enjoying is going to come to an end. He's telling them that. For here there's a new ruler who is appointed over them, to whom from henceforth must yield the honor. So he's telling them that Jesus is now in charge, and that all the liberty that they were enjoying, all the honor, will be now given to the Son of God. And so Lucifer rebels against the Son of God. He rebels against Christ. So listen, the angels rebelled against the authority of the Son of God. So some of the angels joined with Lucifer and his lies. And so they now decide that they want to come together with him to rebel against Christ, to overthrow the government of God. This ends part 2. Next week, we're going to part 3 and the final part. You must be here to hear part 3 and final. Like what I said, if you were not here to hear part 1, go to YouTube, listen to that, how sin started. God bless you. We'll see you next week.